Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Jesse Brower coming at you live from Jesse Brower Solar Leads. Guys, I've got a topic for you that I want to go over today, and that is fail and bitch or learn to pitch. Fail and bitch or learn to pitch. Guys, the choice is yours. What I want to talk about today is leads buyers. I work with a lot of different people that buy a lot of leads from me. I've got repeat buyers and I've got one-time buyers. Let me tell you something about my repeat buyers, guys. They're professional salespeople that know how to pitch. When they call up the list, they're calling with enthusiasm and they're making their ask. And that's how come they're getting appointments in sales. I've got people coming back to me and giving me feedback that they're crushing it on my leads. Not just the aged solar leads, guys, but also the cold verified homeowner leads. I've got good feedback from people buying leads from me who are calling up, crushing it, making money, because they know how to pitch. Then I've got the one-time buyers, guys. They buy from me one time. It might be the first time they bought from me, or it might be the first time they bought solar leads at all, and they fail and bitch. And they bitch. They say, well, it was the list. It was the list. I think I got a bad list, Jess. It's the same thing when you watch Glenn Ross, the movie, right? And they're down in the basement or wherever that scene was, and the guy says the leads are weak, and then the guy comes out and he says that you guys are weak, right? So at the end of the day, it's like how you approach the leads, guys. It's how you approach the leads. I've got great feedback on my H solar leads. I've got feedback from a guy that bought the cold leads and he bought the warm leads, and he says, hey, the warm leads are easier. Well, we know that they're easier. We know the warm leads are easier. That's not a unexpected feedback, but he's crushing it right now. He's telling me that he's gotten like 10 discovery calls a day. He's closing something like 2 deals a day. He's absolutely crushing it. And then I've got another guy that just came back to me and he's like, dude, I crushed it on your cold leads. I think it was maybe a combination. I'm not sure if it was all opt-in, but he said he like 10x'd his investment. Okay. And then I had another guy just come back today. This is the third person that I'm talking about. And I've been selling a ton of leads, guys. I could do feedback, on and on and on about people that have gotten results. But the difference between those who fail and bitch and those who pitch is just the way they approach the leads, guys. One thing that you need to remember is that pitch is not a bad word. Pitch in and of itself is not a bad word. People think, oh, well, nobody wants to be pitched. Look, let me tell you guys, that's a cop out for weak salespeople. If you tell your mind and you say, hey, you know what? Nobody wants to be pitched. And you sit there and you want to play this game of consultant and educator, and you don't want to pitch anybody, you're just going to cut your own legs off, and then you're going to be one who fails and bitches later because you don't want to pitch. You're afraid to make the ask. You're afraid to actually make the ask and make your pitch. If you've got something that you believe in, if you believe in solar, if you think that solar is the right thing, if you're not charging $7 a watt and fucking people, right? And you're actually doing them a good service, if you believe in it, then you should be excited about pitching it. You should be able to approach that situation with confidence, because solar power and the whole situation with solar is actually a good thing for the customer. I think we can all agree on that, as long as you're not fucking the customer with $7 a watt prices and things like that, where you're really kind of raping the situation. And you know who you are. And it's like, if that's what you're doing, then maybe that's why you don't want to pitch. Maybe that's why you're not confident in your product, because you're sitting there ripping people off. But as long as you're actually giving people a fair price, and there's lots of commission to be made, guys, at $3.30 a watt, $3.50 a watt, $3 a watt, $2.80 a watt. There's lots of commission to be made at reasonable prices. So get yourself in a position where you can sell enough deals that you can make money at $3.20 a watt, and you can feel confident about what you're doing. You're not ripping anybody off because you're giving them a fair price, and you can feel confident about what you're doing. Get yourself in a position where you can sell more than one deal a quarter, where you don't need to make $15,000 on the deal. It's okay to make 5 or 6 because you're selling deals every day, every week. How do you get into that position? You go out and you pitch a lot. You knock doors, you get leads, you call them, and you make your ask. You learn how to pitch. Again, the best solar salespeople on the planet, guys, they have perfected their pitch, their talk track, and their closing, and they're perfected it. They know how to pitch, and that's why they're successful. That's why these guys come back to me and they're giving me all this feedback and saying, hey, you know what? I'm crushing it on your leads. I've made money on your leads, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I've got those one-time buyers that come back and say, oh, Jesse, you know what? I think I got a bad list. Oh, really? What did you say? Well, they don't remember clicking a solar ad. Oh, okay. So you're calling everybody up and you're asking them what day they clicked a solar ad. You're calling everybody up and asking them, do you remember clicking a solar ad? What the hell kind of pitch is that, guys? That's the pitch of a weak person that doesn't know how to do an actual pitch. A pitch is this. Hey, my name is Jesse Brower. I'm the owner of Kingman Solar Power. I just wanted to stop by and let you know that about 50 of your neighbors have gone solar right here in Kingman in about the last 2 weeks, and I just wanted to stop by and see if you'd be willing to sit down and look at the solar numbers for your house here tomorrow or the next day. Mornings or afternoons are great. And deliver it with a big goofy smile on your face. Yes, hello. Hey, this is Jesse, the owner of Kingman Solar Power. I was just stopping by to let you know that about 50 of your neighbors right here in Kingman have gone solar in about the last 2 weeks. I was just stopping by also to let you know that that's available for you. Would you be available to sit down and look at the numbers either tomorrow morning or in the afternoon? Guys, if you deliver that with a big goofy smile on your face and you sound enthusiastic, a lot of people are just going to go ahead at that point and lay down and give you an appointment. But if you approach it over the phone or at the door, you're not even smiling, you're frowning, and you're coming up and saying, hey, this is so-and-so with such and such energy. Yeah, I'm just calling about that solar ad you clicked about 3.5 months ago. Do you remember clicking that ad? What day do you think that was? Do you think they're going to give you an appointment? It's like as if they owe you something. They may or may not remember. Some people will, some people won't. Some people will, some people won't. But if that's your pitch, is like leading into, oh, do you remember that solar ad that you clicked? It's like you're asking them for something, like they owe you, because here's the thing, guys, they don't owe you anything. You're interrupting their day. You're still making a cold call. Your entity name was not listed on that drop down. That was not your advertisement. They don't owe you jack. You bought an H solar lead list. So when you're calling, you've got to pitch it. You've actually got to pitch that person. You got to pitch the prospect. You can't just say, oh yeah, you clicked an ad, you're ready to buy solar. That's ridiculous. You're never going to get anywhere like that. You've got to have a compelling pitch and let them know, what it's all about. And the first, 10, 15, 20 seconds of that interaction is what matters. It's like, are you smiling? Do you have that big goofy smile on your face? Do you look, approachable? Are you happy about it? Do you have a compelling offer? Is it something that other people are doing? What's been working for me is, yes, hello. Hey, this is Jesse Brower, the owner of Kingman Solar Power. Just letting you know that 50 of your neighbors have gone solar right here in Kingman in about the last 2 weeks. Just stopping by to see if I can go ahead and give you, sit down with you and give you some numbers either tomorrow or the next day. Something like that, either on the doors, and I'm going to start using that on the phone as well. Zero Down Solar program works, guys. We've been getting hundreds of appointments like that about every month. Last month was a little bit slower, but usually we get about 200-300 appointments a month with the Zero Down Solar program. I've been using Kingman Solar Power because I'm doing solar right here in Kingman. But whatever you want to do, guys, you have to sound enthusiastic. You got to learn how to pitch. So you can make a choice. You want to fail and bitch, or you want to learn to pitch and win. So that's what it is, guys. I just wanted to hop on and do a little live. I love doing these things. The last one I was kind of reading, and I wanted to do one where it was just like impromptu. Let's rock it, guys. Let's roll.